Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with. Come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. A distinguishing style. The sharps or flats that follow the clef and indicate the key. A melody used to identify a performer or a dance band or radio, TV program. A sheet with several pages printed on it. It folds to page size and is bound with other signatures to form a book. Your name written in your own handwriting. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Give heed to. Make reference to. A public promotion of some product or service. Make a more or less disguised reference to. He alluded to the problem but did not mention it. Consume. Have, give, or receive a share of. Have some of the qualities or attributes of something. The event of something coming in contact with the body. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. Arousing effect. His gratitude was simple and touching. press, drive, or impel someone to action or completion of an action. Be relevant to. Have an effect upon. Keep or maintain in unaltered condition. Cause to remain or last. Be relevant to. Return to consciousness. Cause to experience suddenly. Attain. Be on the mind of. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. A racially integrated business concern. Be relevant to. Something or someone that causes anxiety, a source of unhappiness. New York traffic is a constant concern. An anxious feeling. A feeling of sympathy for someone or something. She felt strong concern for those less fortunate. Something that interests you because it is important or affects you. The safety of the ship is the captain's concern. Be relevant to. Be relevant to. My remark pertained to your earlier comments. Be a part or attribute of. Be relevant to. There were lots of questions referring to her talk. Seek information from. Refer to your notes. Have as a meaning. Make reference to. Send or direct for treatment, information, or a decision. Refer a patient to a specialist. Think of, regard, or classify under a subsuming principle or with a general group or in relation to another. This plant can be referred to a known species. Use a name to designate. Christians refer to the mother of Jesus as the Virgin Mary. Make a logical or causal connection. I cannot relate these events at all. Be relevant to. Be in a relationship with. How are these two observations related? Give an account of. The witness related the events. Have or establish a relationship to. She relates well to her peers. Restore by replacing a part or putting together what is torn or broken. Be relevant to. Have an effect upon. Refer to or discuss briefly. Haunt like a ghost. Pursue. Write for someone else. How many books have you ghostwritten so far? A suggestion of some quality. He detected a ghost of a smile on her face. A mental representation of some haunting experience. He looked like he had seen a ghost. A writer who gives the credit of authorship to someone else. Move like a ghost. The masked men ghosted across the moonlit yard. The visible disembodied soul of a dead person. To go back over again. We retraced the route we took last summer. A suggestion of some quality. A just detectable amount. He speaks French with a trace of an accent. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Trace the outline of a figure in the sand. Pursue or chase relentlessly. The hunters trace the deer into the woods. An indication that something has been present. There wasn't a trace of evidence for the claim. Follow, discover, or ascertain the course of development of something. Trace the student's progress. Read with difficulty. The archaeologist traced the hieroglyphs. A drawing created by superimposing a semi-transparent sheet of paper on the original image and copying on it the lines of the original image. A visible mark, as a footprint, left by the passage of person or animal or vehicle. Copy by following the lines of the original drawing on a transparent sheet placed upon it. Make a tracing of. Trace a design. Discover traces of. She traced the circumstances of her birth. Either of two lines that connect a horse's harness to a wagon or other vehicle or to a whiffletree. Make one's course or travel along a path. Travel or pass over, around, or along. The children traced along the edge of the dark forest. Have an effect upon. Will the new rules affect me? Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Connect closely and often incriminatingly. This new ruling affects your business. Make believe with the intent to deceive. Act physically on. Have an effect upon. The medicine affects my heart rate. The conscious subjective aspect of feeling or emotion. Have an effect upon. The violent interaction of individuals or groups entering into combat. Have an effect upon. Influencing strongly. A forceful consequence, a strong effect. The book had an important impact on my thinking. Press or wedge together, pack together. The striking of one body against another. A person who is of equal standing with another in a group. Be identical or equivalent to. $1 equals 1,000 rubles these days. Be equal to in quality or ability. Make equal, uniform, corresponding, or matching. Let's equalize the duties among all employees in this office. Having the requisite qualities or resources to meet a task. He was equal to the task. Having the same quantity, value, or measure as another. On equal terms. A person who is of equal standing with another in a group. Set into opposition or rivalry. Let them match their best athletes against ours. Be equal to in quality or ability. Her persistence and ambition only matches that of her parents. Lighter, consisting of a thin piece of wood or cardboard tipped with combustible chemical, ignites with friction. He always carries matches to light his pipe. Make correspond or harmonize. A pair of people who live together. Make equal, uniform, corresponding, or matching. The company matched the discount policy of its competitors. Bring two objects, ideas, or people together. Matchmaker, can you match my daughter with a nice young man? A person regarded as a good matrimonial prospect. An exact duplicate. When a match is found, an entry is made in the notebook. Be compatible, similar or consistent, coincide in their characteristics. The suspect's fingerprints don't match those on the gun. A burning piece of wood or cardboard. If you drop a match in there, the whole place will explode. A formal contest in which two or more persons or teams compete. Be equal or harmonize. The two pieces match. Give or join in marriage. Provide funds complementary to. The company matched the employees' contributions. Something that resembles or harmonizes with. That tie makes a good match with your jacket. The score needed to win a match. Be equal to in quality or ability. Nothing can rival cotton for durability. The contestant you hope to defeat. He had respect for his rivals. Be the rival of, be in competition with. We are rivaling for first place in the race. A person who is in a position to give you special assistance. He used his business contacts to get an introduction to the governor. The physical coming together of two or more things. Contact with the pier scraped paint from the hull. A thin curved glass or plastic lens designed to fit over the cornea in order to correct vision or to deliver medication. Be in or establish communication with. He never contacted his children after he emigrated to Australia. A communicative interaction. The pilot made contact with the base. Be in direct physical contact with, make contact. The wire must not contact the metal cover. A channel for communication between groups. The act of touching physically. Her fingers came in contact with the light switch. Electronics. A junction where things, as two electrical conductors, touch or are in physical contact. They forget to solder the contacts. Close interaction. They kept in daily contact. The state or condition of touching or of being in immediate proximity. Litmus paper turns red on contact with an acid. A job in an organization. An act that brings discredit to the person who does it. A small contrasting part of something. A bald spot. A lamp that produces a strong beam of light to illuminate a restricted area, used to focus attention of a stage performer. A point located with respect to surface features of some region. A bright spot on a planet. A mark on a die or on a playing card, shape depending on the suit. An outstanding characteristic. A small piece or quantity of something. A spot of tea. A slight attack of illness. Detect with the senses. A blemish made by dirt. Make a spot or mark onto. The wine spotted the tablecloth. Catch sight of. Mar or impair with a flaw. A business establishment for entertainment. Night spot. A playing card with a specified number of pips on it to indicate its value. An 8 spot. A section of an entertainment that is assigned to a specific performer or performance. They changed his spot on the program. A short section or illustration, as between radio or TV programs or in a magazine, that is often used for advertising. Become spotted. This dress spots quickly. Mark with a spot or spots so as to allow easy recognition. Spot the areas that one should clearly identify. Summon into action or bring into existence, often as if by magic. A rapid active commotion. Affect emotionally. A stirring movie. To begin moving. As the thunder started, the sleeping children began to stir. Stir feelings in. Stir emotions. Stir the feelings, emotions, or piece of. A prominent or sensational but short-lived news event. Move very slightly. Emotional agitation and excitement. Mix or add by stirring. Move an implement through. Stir the soup. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Change the arrangement or position of. Tamper with. Move deeply. Destroy the peace or tranquility of. Damage as if by shaking or jarring. Don't disturb the patient's wounds by moving him too rapidly. To extend as far as.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.